Let's be clear. In a huge system like the NHS, things do go wrong and mistakes are made whichever party is in power. But tragically, under Labour, the system did everything it could to cover up those mistakes, giving Morecambe Bay the all clear in April 2010, despite the deaths of 16 babies. That was wrong. Giving the all clear to Basildon and Tameside hospitals in late 2009, just weeks before stories emerged of blood-spattered wards, patients being treated on trolleys, and elderly patients left alone, unable to eat. That was wrong. Refusing 81 requests, as their ministers did, for a public inquiry into mid-staffs. That was wrong. Forcing a group of grieving families to wait in the snow, wind, and rain because the health secretary refused to grant them even one meeting. That too was wrong. As the country's leading expert on hospital death rates, Professor Sir Brian Jarman says, the Department of Health was a denial machine. Indeed, the chair of the CQC talked of the pressure she was put under by a minister in that government not to speak out. Now, that person, Barbara Young, is no Conservative. In fact, she's a Labour peer. So even their own people felt desperately uncomfortable. And to those Labour people who hated what was happening on their watch, I have this to say: you were right. Covering things up is not only worse for those who suffer, it means the problem doesn't get fixed and maybe repeated. And then it's not the rich who suffer, it's the most vulnerable, disabled children, older people with dementia, those with no relatives to kick up a fuss, ordinary people who put their faith in the system only to find the system wasn't there for them when they needed it. Labour betrayed the very people they claim to stand up for. But what's even more worrying is that they are still in complete denial about what happened. In his speech last week, Andy Burnham didn't find the time to mention mid-staffs once. Not once. In the year of the Francis inquiry, Morecambe Bay, the Keogh report, a brand new inspection regime, none of that was important enough to merit even a single mention by Labour's health spokesman. But he did mention privatisation 13 times. You see, they want the whole health debate to be about so-called privatisation. But use of the independent sector to bring down waiting times and raise standards is not privatisation. It's what Tony Blair, Alan Milburn, Patricia Hewitt, John Reid and Alan Johnson all believed was right for patients. Ed Miliband now says that was wrong. But no ideology, left or right, should ever trump the needs of patients. Because for patients, it's not public versus private, it's good care versus bad care. And we'll stamp out bad care wherever we find it. Public sector, private sector, hospitals, care homes, surgeries, and never cover it up. So today, I can announce a major reform that will stop Labour or any government ever trying to cover up poor care. We'll legislate in the Care Bill to give the CQC statutory independence, rather like the Bank of England has over interest rates, so ministers can never again lean on it to suppress bad news.